Over the last 50 years, life has taught me one simple truth. You can't control the storms that come your way, but you can control how you stand in them. This lesson, rooted in Stoicism, is the foundation of what it means to become undefeatable. Let me share with you what I've learned. First, focus on what you can control. Every morning, I ask myself, what's in my hands today? My thoughts, my actions, my attitude. These are my tools. The rest, like other people's opinions or unexpected events, is outside my control. Learning to let go of what's not mine to handle has brought me peace in even the toughest times. When challenges arise, don't panic. Stop, breathe, and ask, what's the next step I can take? Small, steady actions will always move you forward. I've fixed broken things, repaired relationships, and even found solutions to problems I thought were impossible, one calm step at a time. Emotions, they're like waves, big, overwhelming, and sometimes scary. But here's the thing, they always pass. You don't need to fight them or let them rule you. Just let them come and go while you stand steady. This has been one of the most powerful lessons I've learned in all my years. And don't underestimate the strength of kindness. It's easy to think being strong means shutting people out or powering through alone. Still, real strength is in staying patient, offering help, and showing up with a calm heart, no matter how messy the day gets. Finally, remember this. Every storm you face shapes you into someone stronger. Life's tests don't break you if you meet them with the right mindset. Instead, they refine you like steel forged in fire. So, my friend, if you want to be undefeatable, it doesn't mean avoiding life's challenges. It means meeting them head-on with a steady mind, a kind heart, and the courage to face whatever comes your way. Here's to standing tall in the storm. You know, there's a certain peace that comes when you embrace life's unpredictability. For many years, I tried to control everything. Outcomes, people's reactions, even the timing of events. But life doesn't work that way. Once I realized that, I stopped fighting the tide. I let go of needing certainty and instead focused on preparing myself to handle whatever came my way. Preparation is power. I don't mean obsessing over every possible scenario, but rather building habits and mindsets that keep you ready. One of the simplest things I've done is remind myself daily that challenges are inevitable. When they show up, they don't feel like an attack. They feel part of the process. There's a practice I've used for decades that you might find helpful. At the end of the day, I reflect on three things. What went well? What could I have done better? What will I carry into tomorrow? This nightly ritual isn't about judgment. It's about growth. It helps me focus on progress rather than perfection. Over time, those small adjustments add up. I've also learned that perspective changes everything. Picture this. You're climbing a steep hill, sweating and struggling. It feels endless. But imagine looking back from the top. That same hill now looks like a small part of a much bigger journey. Life's challenges are like that. They shrink when you zoom out. Another secret to becoming undefeatable: take breaks when you need them. Rest isn't a weakness, it's strategy. Even warriors set down their swords to recharge. When you give yourself time to breathe, you come back stronger and sharper. And here's something I wish I'd learned earlier. Celebrate the ordinary. There's strength in appreciating the simple moments. A warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds in the morning, or a quiet moment of reflection. These small joys are what make the storms worth weathering. Above all, don't let life's chaos shake your belief in yourself. You are stronger than you think, and every challenge you face is proof of that. Remember, it's not the size of the storm that matters. It's the strength of the one standing in it. You've got this. With 50 years of lessons, there's one more thing I want to share with you. Something I've come to deeply understand after 5 decades of living and learning. Becoming undefeatable isn't about never falling. It's about how you rise every single time. Life will knock you down. It's part of the deal. But here's the secret. Every time you get back up, you're building resilience. It's like a muscle, one that grows stronger every time it's tested. The more you face, the less the future can shake you. Let me tell you about a lesson I learned the hard way. Years ago, I faced a situation where everything seemed to be falling apart. Work was overwhelming. My relationships felt strained, and I doubted myself more than ever. I remember thinking, how am I supposed to get through this? But instead of giving in to the chaos, I paused. I asked myself one question that changed everything. What can I do right now in this moment? Not tomorrow, not in a month, just now. And you know what I did? I took one small step, then another. Eventually, those tiny steps pulled me out of what felt like a deep hole. Looking back, I see that moment as one of the most valuable lessons of my life. When you focus on the next step instead of the whole mountain, the climb becomes manageable. Another lesson I've held close is the power of gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, especially when life is tough. But even on the hardest days, there's always something to be thankful for: a kind word, a lesson learned, or even the strength to keep going. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better. It shifts your entire perspective. I've also learned to seek wisdom in silence. In today's noisy world, everyone seems to have something to say, but real answers often come when you quiet your mind. I take time every day, just a few minutes, to sit in stillness. It's in those moments that clarity and strength are found. Finally, remember this: no one is undefeatable alone. Lean on others when you need to. Accept help. Share your struggles with those who care about you. Stoicism isn't about isolating yourself. It's about building a community that supports you and helps you grow. As you go forward, keep these lessons close. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, but with the right mindset, you'll find that you're capable of facing anything and emerging stronger every time, with an unwavering belief in your strength. I've been thinking about how life often feels like a test, one where the questions change every day. Some days, the test is patience, like waiting in line when you're in a hurry. On other days, it's courage, like speaking up when it would be easier to stay quiet. And sometimes, it's perseverance, like continuing when everything in you says to give up. Here's what I've learned. Life isn't about taking every test. It's about showing up, doing your best, and learning from the experience. That's what makes you undefeatable, not perfection, but persistence. One of the most powerful tools I've discovered is a question I ask myself every time I'm stuck or overwhelmed. What's the lesson here? Life is a great teacher if we're willing to listen. Every challenge, no matter how hard, carries a gift, something you can learn, grow from, or use to help others. Take failure, for example. I've failed more times than I can count. I've lost opportunities, made mistakes, and even hurt people I care about. But every failure has taught me something. It's shown me what doesn't work, what I need to improve, and most importantly, that failure isn't the end. It's just another step forward. Another thing that's made all the difference is practicing acceptance. This doesn't mean giving up or settling for less. It means recognizing the reality of a situation and choosing how to respond. There's a kind of freedom in accepting what is instead of fighting against it. It gives you the energy to focus on what you can change. And then there's forgiveness, something I struggled with for years. Holding on to anger or resentment feels like carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means putting the bag down. You free yourself when you let go of what's weighing you down. I also want to remind you about the importance of joy. It's easy to think Stoicism is all about being serious and stoic in the face of life's challenges, but that's not the whole picture. True strength includes finding joy in the small things: a laugh with a friend, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the satisfaction of a task well done. Joy isn't a distraction. It's fuel for your journey. Finally, never forget the power of hope. Hope isn't blind optimism or pretending everything will always be fine. It's a quiet belief that no matter how dark it gets, there's light ahead. Hope keeps you moving when the road is long and hard. It's the fire that refuses to go out, even in the storm. So, my friend, when life tests you, remember, you've been through storms before and you've come out stronger. Trust in your ability to navigate whatever comes next. With wisdom, patience, and a steady heart, you truly can become undefeatable. As I reflect on all these years, I realize there's one truth that stands out above the rest. Strength doesn't come from never falling. It comes from rising every time you do. There was a time when I thought being strong meant showing no weakness, no cracks in the armor. But life has a way of humbling you, of teaching you that real strength isn't about appearing invincible. It's about being resilient, adaptable, and honest with yourself. Here's something I've learned about resilience. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time you face a challenge and get through it, even if you stumble along the way, you're training yourself to be stronger. You're proving to yourself that no matter what comes, you'll find a way to keep going. But resilience doesn't mean doing it all alone. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is the importance of asking for help. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even a stranger offering kindness, we're stronger together than we are alone. Leaning on others isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. Adaptability is another secret to becoming undefeatable. Life rarely goes according to plan. Over the years, I've had plans fall apart. Dreams take longer than I expected, and unexpected detours that turned out to be the best parts of my journey. The key is to stay open. When life changes direction, instead of resisting, ask yourself, how can I make the most of this? And let's talk about honesty with yourself. This one took me years to truly understand. It's about being real with where you are, what you're feeling, and what you need. Too often, we push our emotions aside or try to convince ourselves we're fine when we're not. But real strength comes from facing the truth, even when it's hard. That's how you grow. I also want to share one last practice that has carried me through even the toughest times. Living with purpose. Every morning, I remind myself why I'm here. It doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing. For me, purpose is about doing good where I can, learning something every day, and leaving things a little better than I found them. Purpose gives you direction, even in the darkest moments. It's like a compass, guiding you when the path isn't clear. When you have something to aim for, the struggles feel more meaningful, and the victories, no matter how small, feel even sweeter. As you read this, I hope you feel encouraged to embrace your journey. Life will test you, shape you, and sometimes push you to your limits. But within you is a well of strength deeper than you realize. Trust in it. Trust in yourself. No matter what lies ahead, know this. You are more than capable of rising to meet it. With wisdom, kindness, and a steady heart, you can face any challenge and grow stronger because of it. Yours in strength and resilience. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more.